I'm going to give you some very overlooked proof that God is real, and it is that atheists mash the thumbs down button on apologetics videos. That in itself is logical proof that God is real. Let me get to it. Let me explain. If you consider your surfing habits, when you're surfing through thumbnails that do not interest you, you just kind of push on past them. You just go through them. When you click on a video that is not what you think, you look at it and you go, nah, I don't have any interest in this video, and you swish away. That is true disinterest. But when you begin to press the dislike button, you are now not just showing a disinterest, but you are actually trying to sway the life of the video. If it's something you really like, you're like, hey man, I want more people to see this, and you press the thumbs up button to broadcast it further. But if you don't want people to see it, you press the thumbs down. It's not a disinterested position, it's a negative position. And so let's think about why this is. One of the first propositions I have for you is that something in the argument itself almost persuades you. It is actually stirring to you. It stirs you up a bit, and you're like, man, that might be something. And of course, if you sit there and fight it long enough, any person can come up with an excuse or another criticism about anything, even truth. And so you could just say, I'm going to write that off. No, So I would say one of the first things is it's almost persuasive. The other thing is something in the argument actually kind of lines up with reality. You know, it's got a little bit of heft to it. I mean, it seems somewhat logical, but I know that's not true for these other reasons. But another reason to possibly mash the thumbs down button would be there's some Christians that might see this and think this actually strengthens their position. And so we can't have that. And if someone thinks that means there is some kind of oomph to the argument that would even help support the Christians. Or maybe the video and the logic it presents, because, atheists versus Christians, our logic is always exactly the opposite of each other. They are polar opposites. And so it's often that one side sees the other side doing the same thing that they don't think that they're doing. And it's almost like looking in a mirror in many instances. But some people would think, well, maybe a lesser-minded atheist might get tripped up by this, and that's the last thing we need is more God believers, and so we don't want any of these arguments kind of getting out there or whatnot. But let's dial in one bit farther. What about the excuse of, it's not that I think the argument is persuasive in any fashion. It's not that it stirs me. It's not that I think it's logically coherent, or it might strengthen somebody, or it might trip somebody else up. It's just that I don't want to waste anybody else's time, and so that's why I just click the thumbs down button. I don't want to waste people's time. Well, do you think that other atheists are stupid? And that's just a question for you as an atheist or an agnostic. Do you look around and think that all these other atheists are stupid, and that they couldn't watch the video themselves and decide whether it was a good argument or a bad argument? And so is that the reason? Is you think they're too stupid to figure it out? And if so, are you keeping that kind of company? Now, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I'm trying to get you to think about this scenario. So, but let's just back off this for a second. What would be the purpose of any other atheist out there clicking on a proof of God video? Why would they be prone to click it like you would be prone to click it? If they want to look for something to mock, why would you hinder that? Why would you hinder that by pressing thumbs down? Like, aren't you then going against them? But what if they are wanting to argue and wanting to discredit the people, to discredit Christians? Why would you rob them of that opportunity even? You're kind of working against yourself. Or Are they curious about God? And you might think that, oh, maybe they'll see this and not see this logical inconsistency. And it's like it took me a while to figure it out. And so I don't want anybody else to kind of fall into this trap. So I want you to think about this. Like, personally, I don't look at videos that say proof cars exist, proof race cars exist. I don't look at videos like that. I don't have anything to consider in a video like that. But if somebody's looking at proof that God exists, then they're interested in the debate or in the logic or in the questions of it. And shouldn't they be familiar with all sides of it? But there's something in you that doesn't want them to see that. You claim that all the Christian arguments are 49% effective or less, but your actions are betraying what you really think.